So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for us today, please?
Hi, my name is Tik Root. I'm a student at Middlebury College. I'm now doing a bit of blogging at mideastreports.org. This kind of started after I got involved in the Arab Spring early this year, after having studied Arabic for a while in the region.
So tell us about your experiences during the Arab Spring.
So I originally went to the Middle East back in 2009 to study the environmental movement in the region. I was interested in oil politics and whatnot, and also learning Arabic language. And honestly, I kind of got wrapped up in everything by accident. I was studying in Alexandria, Egypt, in January of this year, January 25th, when the revolution kind of broke out. And we spent a week before getting evacuated by our program. We saw the police get kicked out of Alexandria. We were, the police were pretty ruthless. Within 10 minutes there was tear gas and rubber bullets, and definitely people were fighting against the police. And then the next 2 nights we were part of a neighborhood watch that you may have heard about on from others covering the region, protecting our area from intruders and whatnot. I think I was out there, I had a PVC pipe, and my roommate was out there with a copper pipe, and there was a guy, maybe couldn't have been more than 13 years old, 14 years old, who was carrying a stool leg full of nails. So this was really, mostly youth out there, but people of all ages just kind of saying enough is enough. And then I came back to the States for a little bit, and trying to finish out my Arabic studies abroad, I decided to go to Syria because, police states never really have revolutions, right? Or so they tell you. About 10 days after being there, on March 18th, I ended up being picked up by the secret police, or the Mukhabarat. I kind of stumbled near an old protest in the old city of Damascus, and I had my BlackBerry out for under 10 seconds. I didn't actually know I got any footage until 2 weeks later, when I found out I had a 9-second video of the guy who picked me up. Anyway, he took my phone, passport, and brought me to prison, where I spent the next 2 weeks. Should I keep going?
Yeah. Well, so you've obviously brought the story now to the United Nations. Tell us about your experience here at the high-level meeting on youth, and tell us about how you believe your story is helping to change the lives of other young people. Do you have a message for the young viewers out there, or something similar?
Well, so I went through this whole experience in Syria very disconnected. They took everything from me, including my shoelaces. And it was the same for everyone else in there. The people that had it worse than me. One guy I met was there for a year. He didn't really know why I was there. No one really knew why he was there. And this idea that people were just completely disconnected was pretty scary to me. On the flip side of it, I kind of, after getting out, realized what a role technology played in helping me get out, and also others around the region. The ability to start a Facebook group, or start a web page, or tweet about something like this puts enormous pressure on governments to be more accountable, whether it be about prisoners or other human rights issues, peace issues, development issues. It just kind of is a catalyst for a lot of ideas that kind of I know youth are concerned about, but usually aren't able to voice. So after getting back, I started writing, taking some videos, contacting contributors from the region. My idea, or not my idea, my kind of commitment to this idea that technology can be a catalyst, kind of brought me to various places. I talked once before about the subject, and got invited here to talk about it at the UN, and it's been really interesting. I think we all agree that General Assembly meetings are, generally an older generation of people talking, and it's been nice to see some of these side panels. There were a good number of young people at the one we were at. Would you agree?
I can tell you it's not always like this though, I have to say. Just for this meeting, it's usually pretty old around these corridors. But I think, Tik, for your story, thank you very much for being here with us today. And I think you really are an inspiration to many younger generations.
Thank you, Doug.